Hey guys, it's Alex Serpentine here. I've got a new resource for all you guys based on the Michael teachings information that I have created, and it's on my Linktree. It's this Google spreadsheet document that has a lot of information, useful information about the Michael teachings, and it can really get you set up for connected to all the resources you need for Michael teachings in general. So first, I just wanted to show you, well, what I'm going to have on that sheet. There's a bunch of resources, and there's also a celebrities tab that shows all the overleaves, all the different personality characteristics of each celebrity that I have on that list. It's like 1,500 people, which I'll show you in a second. But it's going to be at this link on my link tree, this first link that says Michael Teachings Resources. So you're going to click there, and it's going to take you to the resources. I just wanted to show out what my link tree looks like real quick, so you guys are familiar with it. I also have some other links to Michael teaching stuff on here. I have a link here that goes straight to Shepherd Hoodwin's order page. So if you want to order a Michael teachings chart, this is the link you would go to. Shepherd does amazing work with his channeling, so I highly recommend his work if you want a full channel chart. If you don't want to, that costs like $90 to get a chart channeled, so it's a little chunk of change. But if you don't feel like doing that, but you're still interested in getting some Michael teachings information about your own roles and soul ages and stuff, you can take one of my tests. So I have this test area down here with the roles test, the soul ages, goals, obstacles, and a little template, which I'll also show in the resources thing. And then I have a link to all my Michael Teachings video playlists on my YouTube here. My roles, my soul ages, goals, and obstacles, which I feel like are the most important parts of the Michael Teachings. And then down here, I have some other links to my social media stuff, and my music that I'm making for Alex Serpentine, my Instagram, my TikTok, my YouTube. And this is my personal band, Holy Tears. It's an instrumental rock band, so you can check that out. That's just my link tree as it stands right now. But let's get into the resources document now. So I'm going to click this, and I'm going to switch to this document. So this is what it looks like. This is the first page. So you get on here. There's tabs at the bottom. I think this little thing on my screen is covering up the tabs, so it might be hard to see it. But if you look at the bottom of the screen, the bottom left, the resources tab is the first one. And that's the one you'll come to when you open the document. So this document is an overview of the Michael teachings. Has a little statement here about the Michael teachings. The Michael teachings is a channeled spiritual system that helps us understand our soul evolution, personality, and life purpose through roles, soul ages, and other archetypal patterns. So that's a basic summary of Michael teachings. You can check out all my videos that are on my channel to learn more about Michael teachings. But basically, Michael is this entity. It's a group of 1,000 souls that have finished incarnating on planet Earth. They were used to be on Earth, and they had a series of lives, and they were warriors and kings. Those are the types of souls that they were from the roles, the warriors and kings. And so the last incarnating soul from their soul family was named something like Michael. So they just call themselves Michael, but it's like a group of 1,000 souls that are working together, and they're doing all this research on our personalities and the way we set up our lifetimes and the characteristics we take on for each life and the different lessons that we learn and the different perspectives that we shift through in our reincarnational cycle. So it talks a lot about our reincarnational cycle and that we have soul types that we take on for a whole cycle. So I'll get into more details of what all that means as we go through this document. You'll start to see a little bit more. So first I'll get into what's in this document. I'll go to the tabs, and then I'll look at the extra links that are on here. So we've got the celebrities tab. So this actually took a while to compile, but I went on to all the publicly available resources that have listed overleaves. They're called overleaves, the different characteristics of your chart. Overleaves of all these different celebrities throughout history. So I have, if you look down here, you can scroll. I have it's 1544 right now. So it'll keep on growing as we get more in the database. But this is pretty much everybody that I could find online all in one place. So I'm going to come back to this in a second. I wanted to show the other tabs real quick. So here's the key page. So this shows all the different overleaves that are possible to choose from in a chart. And so every person is going to have a main role with some secondary ones. And then they're going to have different characteristics of these, such as the goal, attitude, mode. And so we're a unique mix of all these things. And I'll show what a chart looks like when it's just built out later in a second. I have a certain chart template that we can use. But yeah, so what's cool about this document is anywhere that there's a link, like a underlined text, there's a link. So you can click any of these, like the server here. If you click the server, it would go off to kind of like the worst video here. Oops, lost the connection there. Let me put that back up. So anyway, you can click any of these links and they'll go to the right resource that so you can learn more about it. So I have a lot of videos I made. So this page has links to all my videos. And if you click on the left side, there's links to playlists and overview videos for each of these different categories. So some of them don't have individual videos, so you can see like some of them are missing the underline in the inspiration, expression, action, the simulation axis parts. So I don't have individual videos for those yet, but that might change later. But you can still watch the overview videos that's on the left under the left side here. Okay, so that's this tab, and then you can look also. There's a see more details thing here. You can click that, and it'll bring you to the details page. So this is the same thing, but just built out with a little description of each of the different characteristics. So, like I'll say for the server that they seek the common good, it tells you about their positive pull stuff and their negative pull stuff, how they behave. And so there's a little description of each of the different characteristics on this page, including the needs down here at the bottom, which are part of your chart. So that's that page. There's also links, the same links to things to my videos across this page. And then there's the Soul Ages page. This is the timeline that we go through in our reincarnational cycle. So this is the order in which we go through the Soul Ages here, from the survival focused one, infant, structure focused, baby, achievement focused, young, relationship focused, mature, context focused, old, synthesis focused, which is transcendental, and Tao focused, which is infinite. So we got the first five are what happens during the reincarnational cycle, and then the transcendental infinite happen on the higher planes. Once we're done incarnating, we start merging with our soul families, our entity and cadre group. So the bigger groups of souls together on those higher planes. So you can click my Soul Ages, the Soul Ages text at the top. It'll bring you to my Soul Ages playlist video playlist, or you can click on any of these individual Soul Ages, and it'll give you a video I made about each one. So the last thing I want to show you from my tabs is something called the cadre and entity, which I'll tell you about right now. So each cadre and entity are like I was saying, Michael is an entity. It's a group of 1,000 souls, right? So an entity is a group of 1,000 souls that are a soul family, and then a cadre is 7 of those entities together that are part of a bigger soul family. And so you actually spend a lot of your lives interacting with people in your cadre, the bigger soul family group, the group of 7 entities. So it's like 7,000 souls. So what you can see here, if you go back to the celebrities tab and you scroll over a little bit, you'll find a section that says cadre and entity. And so if you click those, it'll link to that page again. But here you can see the number of the cadre. So the cadres each have a number that's just associated to how we identify them in the system. This is through Shepard Edwin. He uses a certain number sequence to name every different entity in cadre. So the cadre number is on the left, and that can be any number like from 1 to 30, basically, from the ones we have currently. And then entity is going to be a number from 1 through 7, and each of those align with a different role. So it's actually important to know this because I'll show this about my building your own chart in the template. Sometimes the roles are represented by numbers in the system. So you can see server is the number 1. It's the number 1 role. Artisan is number 2. Warrior is number 3. Scholar is number 4. Sage is number 5. Priest is number 6. And king is number 7. So that's the order from basically the most ordinal, where it's more one-on-one kind of interaction energy. And then the last number is the most cardinal. This is the most group oriented. And they align with the chakras too. So each of the roles from those numbers are going to align with the chakras. It's like server is with the root, art, which is the first chakra. Second chakra is artisan, that's sacral. Warrior is the solar plexus. Third, scholar is the heart. That's fourth. Sage is the throat. Fifth, priest is the third eye. Sixth, and king is the crown. Seventh. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense to describe everything. So that's how you can remember the numbers. Like if you think about them in terms of the chakras. But anyway, we'll look back at this tab here. So then you can find out who any person is and what the cadre entity they're in, and then you can look it up on this page. So you can click the cadre entity up here, or the tab at the bottom. And let's say, for example, like mine's 4-7. 4-7 is I'll show you that cadre entity. So we go down here, and so for mine, this is the description and the list of the people that are in my entity. So what it says for mine is cleans up messes that other people make. It's king casting, so a lot of king energy. Many excellent teachers of various kinds. There's 1,468 members. About 85 have cycled off. About 541 are 7th young or younger. All roles, but fairly homogenous and equal among the roles. From most to fewest, artisan, sage, server, warrior, scholar, priest, and king. So each one of the entities will have a description, and so that's the description for mine. And then you can see in my entity, I made some videos about some of the people in my entity. So you can see that there's links here. You can click any of the links. I have one for Alan Moore, XXX Tentacion, and Kanye West. They're all in my entity. So they're like my soul family, soul brothers or something like that, you can say. So you might feel a connection to people who are in your entity, because they are actually part of your soul family. So there might be some themes and a familiar kind of energy with them. So yeah, you can look at that list if they list your soul family people. That might be there under the cadre entity. So yeah, first you look at my cadre, and then you look at the entity, and that's how you find it on this list. So it's a cool little information to have to see how you're related to soul families. So yeah, let's go through the we'll go through the celebrities list here. So we have at the top, there's links to each of my videos and useful resources for each thing. So there's the role for each of the celebrities. You can just look up, if you were looking for somebody, like let's say, search by last name, like Carl Jung. I'll look for Jung, and then Carl Jung appears right here. And I have a video that I made, a Michael Teachings chart video that I made for him. So I made a link to his video there. So you can go, anybody that you see with underlined blue text, bold blue text, you can click and it'll go to the video description of their chart. So that's pretty cool. So if we're looking at this, you can see like role is here first. So that's one of the main essence characteristic is the role. It's the most important thing in the system to pay attention to first. So everybody has a certain role. So there's a certain soul type. So for Carl Jung, that's sage. And then I have the next few columns are actually parts of the overleaves, which are the most significant parts of the overleaves. Um, so I put those up first because these are the ones that you can actually take one of my tests for to figure out which one might be you might be dealing with in this life. So first is the soul age. So like this is the soul ages I showed you and talked to you about before. Um, and the level of that. So it's like which level, like I showed on the soul ages thing. There's different levels to each one. There's 7 levels, so we're progressing through those in this order. So these are basically the perspectives that we take on as we shift through our lives. And so, like I was saying, survival is the first one. Structure is like following rules. That's the second stage. Achievement, trying to be as successful as you can. That's the young soul stage. Relationship focus is just going into your emotions and your connections to everybody else. A lot of heart chakra stuff is in the mature soul age. And then the old soul age is connected to teaching and understanding things, the context for everything, how everything fits together. That's old soul stage. And then there's 2 ones that happen after the reincarnational cycle's done. After old, you're done with the reincarnational cycle, and then you go to the higher planes for the last 2. So those are the soul ages. If you didn't know those already. So then there's the goal, which is the main overarching theme for this life that you're learning about. So we can look for like Carl Jung. His goal is acceptance. My goal is dominance. So he's learning about saying yes to experiences, accepting life, and developing what kind of like um, uh, nice guy attitude to everything, cultivating agape, just unconditional love for people. That's what his main lesson was, and dealing with hard things and accepting life, that things that you can't control. And then for me, my goal dominance is about leadership and stepping forward and being an authority in my field and uh, someone that gets people into action, basically. So then there's the obstacles. Those are one of the most important aspects of the Michael teachings because these are the fear patterns that we take on for one life. So for each life. So each life we're going to have a different uh, of these obstacles that we choose from. And they could be reflections based on what your parents were feeling or different things like how you reacted to the way that your parents treated you when you were a kid, or it could be related to past life issues that you're dealing with in this life. So there's a lot of different sources for how these things happen, but they develop in childhood as the most primary fear patterns that we deal with. And so we have to learn how to overcome them. And by overcoming them, it really transforms the way that our lives really function and what we're capable of. So, for example, like mine, I have arrogance and self destruction. So arrogance is about a fear of vulnerability. So basically, I've had to learn how to accept my vulnerability and not be afraid of being judged or like the feeling is like even being like killed for it. You know, that's the extent of the fear goes to the level of like I'm not safe to be in my vulnerability. So I got to put up walls to protect myself. I got to puff myself up somehow and stay disconnected from people and kind of away from people so I'm not judged. So that's kind of what the arrogance one is. And then I have self-destruction, which is the feeling that you can't get control of your life. You can't like orient your life in the direction that you want that's going to feel fulfilling. And so you might be like too over disciplined to trying to get to the place and the direction of life that you want, or you might fall into a feeling of like lack of control and the self-destructive and self-sabotaging patterns to deal with feeling out of control. So basically what happens is you work on these obstacles and you get more comfortable with the energy and you're dealing with the shadow aspect of it and feeling it, and so the fear has less power over you because you're actually willing to feel what feelings that they're creating in you on a deep level, and then you're able to heal them and then approach things in a better way. So they're actually really important things, even though there are the negative like fear patterns and the kind of like shadow side of our whole chart. Basically, it's really important stuff to look at. So that's why I put it so close up here in the front, so you can see everybody's obstacles and then you can take my obstacles test to learn about what your obstacles are. So that's like the main overleaves that I would pay attention to. Then I have the rest of the essence stuff. Essence twin is your essence twin incarnate. Cadence position, cadence, and greater cadence, which deal with where you're positioned in your entity, and where your position determines what secondary characteristics you take on. So if you clicked on this cadence position thing, it would show you this PDF, and you can see how it works. It's like there's the cadence and the cadence positions, and where you are in this grid determines how you're going to manifest two different traits. So this is some interesting information about that. Let me fix this tabs again. Okay. So these positions are on your chart. If you get a chart from Shepard, a full channel chart, he'll list this cadence position, cadence, and greater cadence, and the numbers. So you have to look at the numbers to figure out, like the numbers from my key here, to figure out which role they assigned with if you haven't memorized the numbers. So for example, for mine, I'm scholar, artisan, and warrior, so it's 4, 2, 3. So that's what it says on my chart, and I'll show that a little bit later too, so you guys can understand what I'm referring to. Task companion, mine's a scholar. It's another soul that helps with things. There's the cadre entity, like we talked about earlier. Orientation, so there's 3 orientations. They're the domain that you're most focused on in these lives, through your series of lives. Mine's energy. It's also called beauty. So if you see beauty on your chart, that means energy. So put energy on the chart, on the Michael chart template. I'll show you the templates in a second once I get through this celebrities thing. Then there's the male and female energy balance, frequency, previous cycles. That's how many different cycles before coming to Earth you live through, going through all the soul ages. Excuse me. And then this area is really cool. This is really important information. Is the raw number, global job, community responsibility, raw number, orientation, block, row, column. This all comes from the raw number. So I'll show you guys what this looks like, and then I can show it on the chart. We have the same links to this on the chart template. But basically, if you click raw number here, it'll open to one of Shepard's PDFs, and I'll show that right now. So this is the raw number chart. So you basically look for the raw number in these columns and rows on the right, and see if I can zoom in so you can see better. Like here, for example, mine is 284, and right here in this field here, if you look to the right, 284 is right here. So 284 is a truth orientation for the raw number, and it's in the pre-salvation row, and so my global job is going to be salvage salvation, and then my community responsibility is in that grid, and it's called equality. So you look at the row and then the column to figure out which one you're at, and you just have to look through these grids to find your number, and then you'll find out which one you're in. And then it'll list the block, row, and column. So for me, my block is priest, so that's where the salvage salvation global job comes from, because it's a double priest energy thing. So that's the global job is based on the block that you're in. So this is a priest block, salvation block, and I have the priest job of the priests, basically. So I'm a block and row are both priest, and then my the column for me is scholar 1. You can see up here it says scholar, and so you can see down here that's equality is my community responsibility. So that's how the row and column raw number sheet works. But you just refer to it there. I just have it linked wherever you see that that raw number text. So you can just click that link and it'll send you right there. And it's also on the chart templates that I made. And then for here, if you wanted descriptions of the global jobs and community responsibilities, you can click the global job or community responsibility links here. And then you can read about any of the global jobs or community responsibilities that you see on this chart, on this celebrity chart, and for yourself eventually, like if you do the Michael chart template. So if I click on that, it goes to this. This is the global jobs, and I can go like look for my own. I can go salvation, and there you go. And there's a good chunk of text talking about what my global job is about. And my global job is basically about spiritual counseling, but it's doing the priest inspirational, helping people who are stuck in a difficult spiritual space and helping them find a way forward. Basically, that's what my global job is about. But you can read about each of those in this thing, so that's pretty cool. And then I'll show real quick the same thing for the community responsibilities. So I'll just click this, and this is the community responsibilities thing, and mine was equality. So I looked this up, equality, and there it is. There's the description of it. And so equality for me is basically seeing everybody on the same equal plane of things, and seeing the value that everybody has, because we're on the essential level that we are all equal. So it's really highlighting that aspect for me and how I relate to other people in my community, basically. So yeah, those are those two documents for the global job and community responsibility, with also the chart, the grid chart for the raw numbers. So that's how you access all that stuff. And then so the block row column, I talked about that. Mine's priest scholar. And then attitude, mode, those are all this. The rest of the stuff here are overleaves. So the stuff like the global job and community responsibility are part of your essence. So it stays the same for your whole reincarnational cycle. And if you see on the top, if there's these fields that are black, like the back of it is black, those ones are essence characteristics. And the ones with the gray background, like the glow obstacle and soul age, those are characteristics you take on for just one life, the one life you're living. So that's how I separate them out to distinguish them. So these ones right here with the gray background again, we've got, stoic attitude for me, caution mode, physical centering in my first center. My second center is moving. Body type is Saturnian and lunar. And so I have videos on each of those different things. So you can click these and I'll go to my videos. And then there's the needs. So there's 9 different needs that we choose 3 main ones from. And there's this article from Dave Gregg on his website, the michaelteachings.com website. So if you click that for the needs, it'll go to this page. And he has a good description of all 9 needs here. So it's a good resource to have. So it's the best resource that I see for the needs. So you definitely check out that website. Back to the resources page. Okay. So yeah, and then there's the life quadrant that's sometimes channeled. But as you can see on here, not everything's been channeled for everybody. These are from different sources online. Some people only channeled certain aspects of the charts. Some channeled the whole charts. So it'll be a grid of different amounts of information for each celebrity. And then on the right, all the way on the right, we've got the sources, the original sources for who came up with this information, who channeled this information originally. So a lot of these are Shepherd Hoodwin. He's the recommended channel I suggest you guys go to. I'll show you a link to his page in a little bit when we get back to the resources page. And then Emily Bombach was another channel that was listed on this website called itstime.com. There's a good list of things on that on that website that's different from Shepard's list. So I got a lot from there. And there's some from Dave Gregg from his Michael Teachings website, michaelteachings.com website. And he has a list of celebrity overleaves that's mainly the same as Shepard's list, but he has a few other ones that were channeled by him and by Chelsea Quinn Yarbo, who wrote a lot of the main Michael books, such as Michael for the Millennium here. So yeah, this list is like listing the source 1 is like where I collected the information from. Source 2 is usually like if it's from Shepard, it's like the source that he got it from, that Shepard got his information from. And source 3 is usually an extra source that I added to fill in extra information. And so sometimes I'll have some information from Shepard and some information from Emily Bombach, and I'll put them together in those 3 rows. So that's everything from this celebrities document. Go crazy. Just look in here and search any celebrity you want and see what's actually on this list. There's 1,500, like I said. So just search through here, and then you can click the ones that have links on the left. Like Alan Moore here there's a video to his Michael chart. And so this is the current state of the document for the celebrities. For now, I'm just keeping it with Michael Teachings information. But as I do different systems on my YouTube channel, I do talk about Enneagram and Myers-Briggs and Vedic astrology and human design and stuff like that. I was thinking that I might eventually add in some information from those different systems as extra information on this, even further to the right on this document. But we'll see. I'll get to that eventually. For now, it's all Michael Teachings resources. So yeah, that's the celebrities tab. Everything there. So now I'm going to talk about what's in this on this first page, this resources page. So like I said, first is all those tabs I showed you guys. There's the links to all those here first. Then I have links to all my social media stuff. My Linktree, this is my main website page where you get the link to this document. My YouTube, where I have most of my content, is presented through videos. So you can go check out my YouTube to learn more about Michael Teachings and other systems like Vedic astrology, human design, Enneagram, Myers-Briggs. And also I'm going to have some of my music stuff on there. My Instagram is right there, so you can follow me, Alex Serpentine. And my email is iamalexserpentine@gmail.com. So that's all my personal information. And then so this section below my name is stuff that I've created. So there's my YouTube playlist. There's a quick link to my YouTube playlist. There's the Michael Teachings one. It has all the Michael Teachings videos all together in one playlist. Then I have the roles or soul types playlist. So you can click that to see which one, whatever results you got from my tests, you can see from here, or whatever one you want to learn about. The Soul Ages videos are there, playlist. I have a goals playlist. I have an obstacles or dragons playlist. And then I have an analyzing celebrities playlist that has all the videos where I'm analyzing celebrities through the different systems, including Michael Teachings and other stuff like Vedic astrology and human design and Myers-Briggs and Enneagram. So that's the playlist. And then here's the section for my tests. So if you want to take a test, these are all free tests that you can take. If you don't know what your overleaves are because you never got a chart channeled, you can take these tests and then figure out the different characteristics you have in your chart, basically, without having to pay for anything. So you can do the roles test. You got the soul ages, the goals, and the obstacles. And so the last thing that I've created here as a resource is this Michael chart template. So if you click that Michael chart template link, it'll send you to this document. And I have a little description at the bottom here of how this works. Like there's a link back to this resources page that we were just on. And then you can purchase a channel chart from Shepard Hoodwin. You just click that link and it'll send you to the order page from Shepard Hoodwin. So he can channel a chart for you if you want this full chart. So then you can fill in the information from your chart, and then you can put it into this one if you want it in this color coded format. But you need to order a chart from Shepherd first if you don't have that information yet. Again, all the underlined text on this document is a link to the resource. So again, the roles here, the cadre and entity, it'll link to that tab on my resources thing. And then the raw number, global job, community responsibility, all those things are there to be clicked on to help you figure out where you are on that chart. And so you can figure out your global job and community responsibility and read about them through these links. And then I have one on the soul age, the goal, attitude, mode, center, obstacle, body type, and needs. They're all the same links that were on the celebrities tab. They're all working here in this Michael chart template for you also. So yeah, that's the full chart, what it would look like. I'll show you right now the what Shepherd's chart looks like when you order it. So actually, first let's go to his page. Let's click this link. And this is his order page. This is where you can order a Michael chart. So you go on here, and he says you need to attach a photo. So basically, when you're getting something chart channeled, you basically need to provide your name and a photo of you with your eyes clearly visible, where you can see your eyes, because that's what he tunes into when he channels. He pays attention to the eyes, the name, and then connects to the guides to Michael on the higher planes, and then that's how he channels the information. So that's the information. That's the stuff that you need to provide to him. You also, so you'd fill in this stuff, your contact information, and then you would select this one right here, Michael reading chart. It's the first on the list of the things he has available. He has other things like intuitive readings and channeling coaching, past life therapy, different stuff on here. But Michael reading chart is the first option on there. And then you fill in your name. He asks for birth information because he looks at your astrology too and wants to have that resource. So you can give that to him if you want. And then chart information already channeled. You write none if it hasn't been channeled before. And then you upload your photo. So that's how that works. So once you order a chart, it'll look like this. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is my chart that was channeled by Shepherd. So this is how it looks when you get it from him. It's a little bit different from my format. So basically it has each of the characteristics options listed in a row, and he puts a little dot in the one that's yours. So for me, you can see I'm scholar. My role is scholar. You put a dot in that one. And then my essence twin is sage. And then you can see for the cadence position, cadence and greater cadence, he used numbers. So 4, that's a scholar one. And then 2 is artisan. And 3 is warrior. So you just refer to that key that I have in my resources document to figure out which ones are yours. Then there's the raw number again, 284. You just look that up on that one document that I had linked in the chart template and the resources. Wherever you see raw number, you can click on that, and then it'll send you to the raw number document. So yeah, it'll list the cadence position on here. So it's scholar 4. So that one will be listed there, but then 2 and 3 here for me are the cadence and greater cadence, and he doesn't list them with the roles. So you have to figure out that yourself by the numbers that are associated. And then he has the cadre entity. So I'm 4-7. And the beauty orientation is actually also known as energy orientation. That's how I call it on the chart. So if you put yours into my chart, it might not highlight it in the color for the beauty one, but it will do it for energy. So just remember that if you're beauty orientation, it's also energy orientation. So then it has the task companions, male, female energy, frequency, previous cycles, all that stuff. And then down here, he has the same kind of grid thing for each of the overleaves. So like here, my goal is dominance. my needs up here: expansion, expression, exchange. My life quadrant is knowledge. And there's the attitude, stoic. Mode is caution. Center is emotion, is physical, moving part. So you write physical, and then what it says this part down here. That's the secondary center for you. And then chief obstacle is arrogance, and then he has secondary self-destruction. And then body type Saturnian, and then secondary is lunar. And focus or soul age is mature, level 3. Relationship focus. But it says mature, so that's what you'd write in the chart. So that's how it looks when you get it from Shepherd. It's in a different format than how I have it. So now let's look back at the document. We were looking at the Michael chart template document that's linked to the resources thing. So, like I said, you got the link to Shepherd's website, and then if you get this document and you want to fill in your information from his chart that you get from him, just make a copy of this document. Just go file, make a copy, and you'll have your own version that you can edit and fill in. You just put these all in all caps, and just type in the text that corresponds to yours. So that's the full chart. And if you don't want to order a full chart, you can look at this mini tab on the bottom left. To the right from the full one is the mini, and this is the chart that you can use as a reference for all your results from my tests. So you can take the 4 tests that I have about the rules, soul ages, goals, and obstacles, and then you can put your results in this little page here, and you can like take a screenshot of this or share it with your friends or whatever you want to do, put it on your social media, whatever you want to do. And if you scroll down to the bottom, here's the link to all the tests. So you can easily take those from here and link back to the resources page. Like I said, file, make a copy to make your own edits on this. So yeah, that's the Michael chart template document that you guys can use to fill in your stuff. And now let's go back to the resources document. Let's make this bigger. Okay. So we just went through all my resources here underneath Alex Serpentine. Like I said, there's a link in the template to ordering your own chart from Shepherd. Here's another link there, straight on the resources page, to easily order a channel chart from Shepherd. He's the best resource for this stuff for getting a full channeled charts. And it's $90. Like I said, provide your name and a profile photo with your eyes clearly visible. And then I have some linked websites here that are good resources for Michael teachings. ShepherdHoodwin.com. That's Shepherd Hoodwin's website, and he has a bunch of good resources there. He's a Michael channel, and he's the author of Journey of Your Soul, which is a Michael teachings book. He has a lot of different resources on there. He has a bunch of PDFs that he usually sends out when you order a chart from him. He'll send a PDF, like a zip folder with a bunch of PDFs, but those PDFs are available on his Michael Teachings website. So if you go on here on his Michael Teachings page, you click Michael Teachings here, and then he has down here, like all these are like different PDFs and articles that he's written. So they're all really useful things to look at and to read about. So definitely check out his website. And then let's go back. So then we have michaelteachings.com. This is one of the main resources online that people look at for Michael Teachings. So I'll click on this so you guys can see what this website looks like. This is the michaelteachings.com. And there's a bunch of different articles on here. So it's about the soul age, old soul, 7 rules, overleaves, celebrity profiles. That's where I got that information from, the celebrities. He has other stuff on here: life after death, spirituality, channeling, all this stuff related to Michael teachings and spirituality in general. So this is a good resource overall for different articles on things. And I linked to some of the articles, like the 9 needs that's part of this website. So that's another good website. And then there's this last website that I was looking at. It's called itstime.com, which is by Barbara Taylor. And so this one has a little bit of Michael Teachings information. They have their own resources and different links here listed, different articles. So it's just another resource that you can use. And from this website, I got some of the celebrity overleaves from this website. So yeah, that's the last of those resources. And then I have a list of some main books. So if you want to read some material on the Michael teachings, I have a series of books here that from great authors who write about the Michael teachings, all listed here. So I listed them in terms of maybe the order that you might want to read through them. So first, I have the Michael Handbook. These are all links to Amazon links on the Amazon page. Some will be the Kindle links, but there's a paperback version of each of these for sure. So the Michael Handbook is an introduction to the Michael Teaching System by Jose Stevens. It's on Kindle. Then we've got Michael, the Basic Teachings, which is another great overview of the Michael Teaching System by Aaron Christian, J.P. Van Hol, and M.C. Clark. That one is not on Kindle, but it's still a good book to get. Journey of Your Soul, that Shepherd Hoodwin's explanation of the Michael Teachings on Kindle. 7 Personality Types is a book on the 7 rules. It's the best one on those, just focusing on the rules. It's by Elizabeth Puttick, and that's on Kindle. Transforming Your Dragons is the best book I found on the obstacles or the dragons from Michael Teachings, and that's by Jose Stevens. It's only on paperback. There's a Body Types book, just called Body Types. I think it's like the Essence of Enneagram Types is the subtitle. That's the best book I found on the 7 body types, and it's by Joel Friedlander. It's on Kindle also. And then there's the three main books from Chelsea Quinn Yarbrough, who's the person who did the original channeling of Michael. She's the most primary remembered Michael channel in the history of Michael teachings. So these are some of the first books that were released about the Michael teachings. And it's not necessarily written in a structured order in terms of the system, like the Michael Handbook or the Michael Basic Teachings. So that's why I put those ones up above, because it helps you understand the system better. But this goes into like different dialogues of talking with Michael and the main information that came through. So there's Messages from Michael is the first book, and then more Messages from Michael is the second book, and then there's I think it's the fourth book, so there's another book in there, but Michael for the Millennium is another big one that people were looking at. So yeah, that's all the books that I'd recommend you check out from the Michael teachings. Really good books. And then like I listed the celebrity overleaf sources again here to the direct page that I used from where I got the different celebrity information from this chart here. So like I said, Shepherd Hoodwin had the biggest compiled list. I got a lot from him there. And then Emily Baumbach's list from Barbara Taylor's website, itstime.com. There was some that were mainly published in 1996, a list of celebrity overleaves. And then Dave Gregg has pretty much the same list as Shepherd, with a couple extra ones, or a good handful of extra ones that he channeled himself too. So that's everything on this this document here. I made it to make it a good resource for everybody who's getting into the Michael teachings, who wants to learn about it and understand the system and how it all fits together, instead of looking at it through just how it's presented on YouTube. Like this looking through this document here gives you a lot more connection to all the resources that you need for Michael teachings, and hopefully makes it easy to learn the system and get the information that you want, like get your chart channel from Shepherd, or take my free tests to figure out your overleaves, your main overleaves. And then all the reading and websites and different things that resources you'd want are all down here. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me on YouTube or Instagram or email. Like I said, all my information is right here on this thing. And I hope this is a useful document for you guys. I'm going to be updating it over time when I get new celebrity charts or make new videos that are relevant to Michael teachings. And this might evolve into a bigger document that combines other systems together into with Michael teachings, such as Vedic astrology, human design, Enneagram, and Myers Briggs. I might start bringing that information into this document as well. But as for right now, it's set up as a Michael Teachings resource document, and yeah, have fun with it. Reach out to me if you have any questions or need help with anything. But I hope this guide had made it easy for you guys to follow and use this document. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope this is useful. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.